Hola, Fran. How are you?
Hola, Jorge. Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Not bad. Thank you so much. I'm just here, just a little bit, I kind of say nervous because, and again, for our listeners out there, there's going to be a topic that it will be discovered after our symphony. Here we go.
Jorge, have you changed what we're going to be talking about today? Because I have
No,
one topic ready.
I can see your face.
It's like, what?
I can see you say you're freaked out.
It's like,
No,
okay,
the
okay. So what
thing.
are we talking today?
Yeah, we were talking about what we had on the schedule, which is about a person that was very, very revolutionary at his time, and you are gonna have the leading voice again in somebody that was questioning moral values regarding church, of course, and religions. So, as we have said in previous podcasts, you are the one in charge of these issues, these discussions, these themes that we are mentioning in this podcast. And yeah, the person is a person, as I just said, very revolutionary this time. He was born in the region today of Aragon. We will gonna put you on historical context, but this is a request of one of our most, I would say, most loyal listeners. Francisco, probably you agree
Yes.
with me because we both hear about him a lot, and he is very active in our social media, Spanish loops, social media, Instagram and Facebook, etc., etc. His name is Avi Rosenvig. Avi, thank you so much for giving us this idea, which we thought it was fantastic, not only because of just listening to us, but also but giving us the ideas. Okay, let's go to the person. His name is Miguel Servet.
There we go.
Francisco, the microphone is all yours.
So, as you said, Avi or Avi, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Thank you so much for this topic and making
Yeah.
us dive in the life of Miguel de Servet.
Hmm.
Avi sent us an email. Hey, why don't you talk about him? We were like, hey, that's a great idea. So here we are. Let's talk about this man, Miguel de Servet. He was born in 1511, as you said, in Aragon, here in Spain. And the thing is that before we talk about him, why don't we make a little intro of what's going on in the world in this moment?
Yeah, you mean the historical context at that time?
There we go. Let's make an introduction to the world at the
Perfect.
beginning of the 1500s.
Go ahead.
The thing is that the world has just changed. Okay,
Hmm.
if we go a little bit before, in 1453, we do have the printing press, which changes the values of the world. I mean, right now, before the printing press, all the education is going to be handwritten and everything is going to be ruled pretty much by the church. Now, all of these universities can have books and can ideas around the world can be spread much easier, much faster.
Hmm.
Copernicus is going to die in 1473. And Copernicus is the one who says that, hey, the earth goes around the sun. We
And
are
not,
not the center.
we're not the center of the universe.
There we go. So if we're not the
What a,
center of
what a
the
thing, what a
universe,
thing to say in those days, isn't it?
I mean, it's like we're not the center of the universe. Maybe God is not the center of the universe.
Mm.
It's a moment of big, big changes. Then the big revolution, it is in 1517. 1517 is where Martin Luther uh, nails, all the new rules of the new ways of thinking. Okay, Protestantism.
His famous 95 thesis.
There we go. The 95 new ways, the new 95 ideas. Why
Hmm.
do we have to follow the basic rules? No, there's more. We can think differently. Uh, this is the moment of Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, Leonardo da Vinci is
Yeah.
going to die in 1519. A man who talks and writes and investigates and is a free thinker. At this moment, we also have 1936, Erasmus of Rotterdam is going to die.
Yeah, another erudite.
Another
Yeah. Yeah.
big erudite, big free thinker. The thing is that to me, Erasmus of Rotterdam, it's very linked to Miguel de Servet, because Erasmus of Rotterdam, he is a Christian humanism. He believes in personal freedom, and you can think differently from, I can think differently from you, which at that time it was unacceptable. So he is a big thing. So as you can see, this is a moment of very strong people with big ideas.
Yeah, Francisco, please let me tell you one thing. I'm a little bit puzzled and confused here. I mean, digging in my hard drive here of my shoulders. Miguel de Servet, I related him more to medicine rather than everything that you are saying right now. Am
Yes.
I stepping ahead or should I wait?
Yes, but no. Yes. I mean, the thing is that all of these people, I mean, think that Leonardo da Vinci,
Yeah.
he is a multifunction brain. He either paints, invents, opens a body to learn about it. It's a moment when medicine, religion, everything is, it's a bursting moment in history.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, as we can imagine, these huge new ideas are strong and powerful. And Catholicism is not happy with all of this. It's a moment of the Inquisition, also dark times. Okay, so it's not only big brains, it's also the power of the Inquisition.
Yeah.
This is the moment where Michel de Servet is going to be born. Okay,
Right.
if we come a little bit closer to us, we come to Spain, this is the moment, the beginning of the 1500s.
Mm-hmm.
We are the empire,
Yeah.
the most powerful empire in the whole world.
Mm-hmm. True.
America is ours. Half of Europe is ours. Our king, Charles I of Spain, fifth of Germany, it is the big emperor.
Mm-hmm.
This is an incredible moment to be born in history. And he is lucky enough to be born in this moment. As you said, he is born in 1511. 1511, he's born in a small little town in Aragon. He was born in an accommodated family. His father
Yeah.
is a notary, so he has money. I mean, he's not wealthy, but he has money. He has
Say it
money.
again. What his father was?
He was a notary.
Oh, notary. Okay. Yeah.
Notary.
Right.
So Miguel, he has the privilege of being able to study. Okay? By the age of 15, no, sorry, 13, he speaks perfect Latin, Greek, Hebrew, and Spanish.
Whoa. 13?
13 years old.
Whoa. My
As
goodness.
you can,
I wish I
he,
had the brain. My goodness.
he knows how to read, how to write in 4 languages in 1500s. This is a moment when normal people, if they could only read,
Yeah, that's
they
right.
would be like beyond. Okay.
Yeah.
And he writes and reads in 4 languages.
Whoa.
As he stands up and he's like, wow, this kid has potential. When he's 13, he's sent to Catalonia. First he goes to Lérida, and then he goes to Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
And in Barcelona is where he's such a fast brain that with no time, he moves very well in the city of Barcelona. And he ends up under the wing of Fray José de Quintana. That for most of us is like, who the hell?
Yeah. Who's that
Fray.
person?
Well, somebody quite important. He is the private confessor of Charles V, the
Oh,
big
wow.
emperor. Okay.
My goodness.
Charles V in 1529, he is going to be crowned as a big emperor. And this is the moment where this kid, not anymore kid, he's growing up, he is under the wing of the private confessor of the most powerful man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He has the possibility to read, learn from the best people around the world. He has a chance to travel. He travels to France, he travels to Italy. He goes everywhere around. He absorbs all the information around the world. And in this moment, But a little bit later, when he's only 20 years old, in the year 1531, he writes his very first book.
About medicine.
Hell no.
Okay, all right.
Okay. The title of this first book that he writes is called the Trinitatis Erroribus.
Oh, I don't speak Latin, but I mean, being very similar, well, similar to what today's Spanish could be, that sounds to me like he was disagreeing with the Holy Trinity.
There we go. The title of the book, the first book he writes, is The Errors of the Holy Trinity.
How he dared to do that?
I mean, it's like, how could you say something like that? Are you nuts, man? You cannot question the Holy Trinity in this moment. In this book, he also questions the humanity of Jesus Christ. Yes?
Wait. The humanity of Jesus Christ?
I mean, Jesus Christ is the Father of God, and in the Bible we read that
Is the Son of God.
Is the Son. Oh, sorry, yeah, the Son of God,
Yeah.
and he does all this perfect. In this book, what he considers is that yes, he's the Son of God, but he was a human. So why do we have to say that he didn't have a wife? How did
Oh
we have
my
to say
goodness.
that 1531
I mean,
in Spain?
being the personal, a close friend of the personal confessor of the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, Catholicism all over, going around. You have to be Catholic whether you like it or not. You have to be Catholic. He questions all that in black and white.
There we go, in black
Oh my
and
God.
white. I mean, this guy, it's like
Nuts.
nuts.
Absolutely.
Obviously, he's
Yeah.
like, Holy Inquisition says, who on earth did, well, more than who on earth, who the hell wrote this?
Yeah.
He's like, whoops, I think I made a boo-boo. Maybe I need to go. And he exiles into France. He goes into France, he goes to Paris, and he changes his name. He knows that he's going to be persecuted. We have a series on this podcast about the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, we do. Mm-hmm.
And one of the things we try to make clear is that the Spanish Inquisition, it is a very late Inquisition. The Spanish Inquisition starts in the 1400s. In France, they had Inquisition from the 1200s.
Yeah.
So when he goes to France, there's Inquisition in France as well. So he's like, okay, I'm going to change my name. I'm not going to be anymore Miguel de Servet. And he's in Paris. And in this moment in Paris, he meets John Calvino.
Wait a minute, John Calvino. Oh my goodness, he's jumping from one religion to another. I mean, you mean the Calvinist, the one who?
Yes. Yeah. So that the leader of Calvinism.
Oh my goodness,
they meet.
I don't know what to say.
I mean, but imagine this moment, all of these big brains, and at the beginning they get along. They get along, but Calvinism do not question the Holy Trinity. So at the beginning they're okay and they can talk, but there's a moment where they get in a huge fight, and John Calvin says, "The hell with no." Oh, by the way, you are Miguel Servet. He finds out. He's like, "You are going to be prosecuted." Before he says prosecuted, once again, Miguel de Servet leaves Paris and disappears, changes his name, and he goes to the city of Lyon.
Wait a minute. What was his French name? Say it again.
No, he changes several names. We don't know all his names.
All right.
We don't know his names. So he goes to the city of Lyon. And in Lyon, let's say that we lose a little bit of the trace of him, but we know that he is going to become good friends and works for some editors. Remember that I told you in 1453, we have the printing press. This is 100 years later. The printing press is working hard. He is working on a printing press, and they allow him to publish some of his books. Very controversial books with different names and this and that and that and it. So it's a very, personally for him, it's a very rewarding moment because he can express himself freely with different names, but he prints and goes, and that's what he does. In this moment, when he is in Lyon, He meets a doctor, and talking about with the doctor back and forth, this doctor finds that this man now, he has potential. He is a very clever guy, and he convinced him to return to Paris to study at La Sorbonne to become a doctor. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so he changes his name again, and he goes all the way to Paris, and there is where he gets his title. Okay, his medicine title.
Right.
At this moment,
Now it sounds a little bit familiar to me now that you get into the medicine field.
the medicine, because here in Spain we study Miguel de Servet as a doctor,
Yeah.
but obviously his life is much more complex than just medicine. Okay,
Mm.
so in this moment when he reaches Paris, La Sorbonne, it is the most advanced, progressive university.
Oh, so he was in La Sorbonne.
He was in La Sorbonne.
Wow.
And I mean, right before him, another very important Spanish student was in La Sorbonne. It was Saint Ignatius of Loyola, the founding father of the Jesuits.
Yeah.
Another
We
big,
we have a podcast about him. Yeah.
yes, we have a podcast of Saint Ignatius.
Yeah.
Saint Ignatius was another breaker of the way of thinking of Christianity. So,
So my goodness, what a place to meet so that
such
kind of people,
great
huh? Yeah,
minds.
so many brains. Yeah.
So the thing is that once he gets his title, he gets a little fame around Paris and surroundings
Mm-hmm.
about how good he is. And things of life, at the end, he is, how can I say, maybe sponsorized, or he was called to a city of Bian in France, where the bishop is very sick. And this bishop wants Michel de Servet, with a different name, okay, to be his personal doctor.
So probably, for what you're saying, probably that bishop didn't know who this person was because of all
Exactly.
his previous publishings and everything.
There we go. He has no idea. He knows he's a
Okay.
very well reputed, very good doctor. Hey,
Uh-huh.
come to me and take care of me.
Yeah.
The thing is that when at this time, 1550s, when you are under the wing of somebody wealthy and hey, you're gonna be my private doctor, you're gonna have money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So he has now a very good living. And he keeps on publishing his books, now more related with medicine. And the thing is that Miguel de Servet, he is always questioning himself about the human soul. Where is the human soul? The thing
Well,
is,
is that a kind of trying to mix science with humanism?
there we go.
Something that they never, up
They
until
never got
today,
together.
they don't match. They cannot find the connections.
They cannot find the connection. So this is the moment when he is a doctor. He has money,
Yeah.
which means that he can buy bodies and study dead bodies, which is very, very important for him. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What's the issue? The thing is that at this moment, all the way to now, it is believed that the body, our bodies, is a container and the work of God is inside. And if you take the blood out of yourself, the soul comes out. So the body, let's say, is like a sponge that has blood
Mm-hmm.
inside, and that blood is where the soul is.
Yeah.
But Leonardo da Vinci has studied the veins already. And
Yeah.
he's like, if there are veins, there are canals, and something is moving, because if I cut somebody's hand is alive, it pumps. There's something more. So by studying, he discovers the what is called today the pulmonary blood circulation.
Uh-huh.
And he says, no, the blood, the body is not ruled by God. It is ruled by the heart. The heart is the one that pumps the blood. It's
Mm-hmm.
not God moving the blood inside. To tell you the truth, I don't think he really thought this as a big, huge medical advance, which it was revolutionary.
Yeah.
And when he publishes this theory of the heart moves the whole thing, he doesn't publish it on a medical book. He is going to publish it in a religious book, talking about
Oh my goodness.
the soul.
Oh, right. Okay.
Big mistake. The bishop that he's working for finds out and he says, "Oh, I didn't know, but you are Miguel Servet.
Oh,
You
there
have
you
been
go.
prosecuted in Spain by the Holy Inquisition. You have been prosecuted in Paris by the Holy French Inquisition. Oh my God, you're going to go into jail." He goes to jail. And it is that, yes, all of these free thinkers in the world at this time, they are his friends. He has a lot of good connections.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them very wealthy, very powerful. And they want Miguel de Servet to get out of prison. And that's what they do. They manage to free Miguel de Servet. And this free thinker runs away once again. Okay. And he's going to go to Geneva in Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Geneva, it's where now Calvinism, he is becoming very, very big in Geneva, okay, in Switzerland. And Miguel de Servet wants to go there to learn from Calvin. Okay?
But didn't they have a row just years
but
before?
he doesn't go saying, "Hey, Miguel Servet." No. He just goes hiding. Okay. There's a big speech of Calvinism in one of the squares in Geneva, and Miguel de Servet goes there undercover, let's say. Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he is discovered.
Uh,
And Calvin, okay, he gets him into prison. Miguel de Servet knows what's going to happen. He knows that Calvinism is going to kill him. Because we also have, all of these, we never talk about the Inquisitions, the other Inquisitions, but Calvinisms also have Inquisition.
oh, yeah. There were many inquisitions all over Europe. Yeah.
It was not just the Catholic one. I mean, if you don't believe what I think, I'm going to burn you. But if you don't, you're going to burn me. So that was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So the thing is that at the end, Calvinism is the one who gets, in 1553, Miguel de Servet on a bonfire. And he dies. But as a, how can I say, as a big thing, Miguel de Servet was born on a bonfire with all his books. Okay, as a tribute to say, you die, but also your ideas. But it was impossible because we already had the printing press. You cannot burn books, and that's it. You
can reprint them.
You can reprint them. They are everywhere around the world. So from that point, from that moment on, Miguel de Servet, in the free thinkers world, he became a hero. Right? He became a hero all the way till today. Okay? But imagine how free thinker, how strong he was. All around France, later in history, there are always in France, because at that moment, France is what gave Miguel de Servet all the knowledge and the capacity to express himself and write and print his books and everything. So around France, there are many sculptures, many tributes to Miguel de Servet. Okay, well, he was such a big thinker of freedom, of, think out of the box, question things, that when the Nazis took over France in 1942, many of the Miguel de Servet sculptures and tributes, they were destroyed by the Nazis because he was having his presence. It was like, question everything, question the whole thing. Okay, so somebody from the 1500s affected people from the 20th century, which I think it's a magnificent moment. Tribute for him, although it was horrible. Okay, but the Nazis breaking his statues was saying, this guy who changed the world, the way of thinking of 1500s, can also do it today.
Today. Wow. Is there any evidence about if any of those statues survived or they were
Yeah,
kept? No, they'll.
yeah.
Yeah.
There are many tributes all around France
Yeah.
for Miguel de Servet. Yeah, it's very, very easy to find. Very easy. It's easy to find some of his tributes, some of his sculptures
Mm-hmm.
uh, in squares, in plazas, in streets named after him. So yeah, it's he
And
was.
do you happen to have handy or remember any book that he wrote about questioning
Oh,
the his humanism side before he became a
uh,
doctor?
no, I would say that only the the errors of the Holy Trinity is the most important one
Right.
because it
Yeah.
was the total breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other ones I don't really have, but he was has quite a prolific collection of books. He has many, many,
Mm-hmm.
many, many books. Right now, the good thing is that all of these friends of him, they knew who he was, and although he had different names as the author, once he died and they were republished and republished and republished, they changed them to him. So
Oh,
we know now. Now they are attributed to him,
to
who
him.
wrote them. Yeah,
The
so
original
it's
works are now attributed to his real name.
to his real name. Right?
Okay, good.
Sometimes you
Wow.
have both names, his name and the other ones, whatever
Yeah.
it was at the time. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, now you have Miguel de Servet. By the way, Servet is Servet, Servet.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay.
That's the one. Yeah.
In case somebody wants to read and discover something about this magnificent brain of the 1500s.
Wow, it's a fascinating story. And again, to our listeners, here is Francisco's big knowledge about people related to the church and big thinking and everything. And
No, no,
I
no, no, no,
was
no.
really fascinating because, as I said to you, I was relating him to just medicine. I I knew a little bit about, yeah, something about changing his names, but probably I learned that when I was a kid at school. Maybe, I don't know, probably something that I studied occasionally, but I mean, this depth, as you have shared with us today, honestly, I was kind of shocked. All the chapters of his lives, changing names, going undercover, living almost incognito and everything. And well, I
Well,
think that that is a very fascinating character
yeah,
of the history of the 1500s in Spain. So the shame is that he died very young. It was
yeah.
42, 43, right?
40, so he was born in 1153, yeah, 42. Yeah.
42, yeah. He was the victim of his own works. Let's put it that way.
Yes, he was victim of his big mouth. Let's put it that way.
That's 20th century, 21st
That's
century
20th century
language.
way of thinking. Yeah. But really, I've had such a great pleasure this week researching about
Yeah,
Miguel Servet because, as you said, it's one of those characters that we know a little bit from here in Spain. In high school, you have to learn something about it,
yeah,
but we never read anything of his books or just Doctor
yeah.
Humanism. That's pretty
What
much I knew about him. So
One of
it's really
those things
wonderful.
that when you scratch a little bit of surface, you find, that there
Yeah,
is some substance
yeah.
down there.
To me,
Yeah.
it's such an interesting topic. And so, Abby, thank you so much for bringing this
Yeah.
gentleman to our attention. It's been an amazing week researching about this one. Hopefully, people have discovered Miguel de Servet and likes this gentleman.
Hmm.
And well, Jorge, I think that's pretty much all we wanted to say.
Yeah, that's I believe, unless that you have anything else to add to this magnificent character. That seriously, I just out of curiosity, I'm just going to Google a little bit about him and discover things that I was really shocked. I have to say, I was really shocked about
Yeah.
everything that you
I mean,
mentioned.
obviously, in a podcast, you cannot take one whole life
Of
in
course,
one
yes.
little
Yeah.
podcast.
Hmm.
There's much more about him,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
if you know about Miguel de Servet or you're a specialist in Miguel de Servet, you're like, you didn't talk about this one. You didn't talk about... No, of course
I
not.
assume that his books are also translated into English, right?
I assume yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There
Okay.
has to be
Good.
some
Good.
of
Good.
his books translated to English.
Okay, Chico. So, well, this to me was fascinating, the topic this week. And if you, as Avi Rosenbeck, just suggested to do this um, search about this character, if you have any other ideas that you want to you want us to, or to help us to, always, if it's possible, related to Spain, that will be great. That's why the name of this podcast, Spanish Loops, that would be great. Although we do have an immense list out there, but just to do work for someone that is out there listening to us and saying, "Hey, what about this?" That can wake up
If
our
anybody has
attention.
any idea of what we can talk about in this podcast about Spain, it can be somebody as deep as Miguel de Servet, but it can also be about something, talk about food, about this type, or talk about
Yeah.
whatever. All right. So,
Or any theme that you might think of.
and one more thing, if you
Yeah.
are listening to us via any, Spotify or Apple podcast, anything, please subscribe.
YouTube, also YouTube.
Okay, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a little like to this video or this
Yeah.
podcast, because it helps a lot to locate and
does.
position it on social media, which is
Mhm.
great.
Okay, well, Francisco, thank you again for your knowledge and your presence. I'm thanking myself also for my presence here as well.
I'm thanking you for your presence and for all your questions. Thank you so much, Jorge.
You're welcome.
And everybody, it's been a wonderful week. Hopefully you have a great week, everyone. We love you, and we shall see you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Adios, amigos.
And as usual, we want to thank all our listeners for being there every week, letting us sharing our talks. Follow us in Spanish Loops in Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite platform.
And in Instagram, you can find us as the Spanish Loops Podcast, no spaces, all together. If you want to find us the quickest way, just Google Spanish Loops Podcast and you will find us. Hasta la vista, amigos.
See you next week.